Welcome to the Teaching and Learning Center and Math Center at Grantham University. In this lesson, we will give you a quick overview of Week 1 of your Math 105 course, and we will review several basic math skills that will help you prepare. But even if you have already started, you can benefit from watching. Every week, we'll have similar components. An introduction to the week with readings and/or videos to learn the concepts for the week. For points, there will always be a discussion portion where you will have to post an answer to one or more questions related to the course, as well as answer posts from other students. There will also be an assignment practice, which is not graded, but will help you practice your skills. And finally, a graded assignment. This graded assignment is not timed, and you can save your answers and return to them later. There will be a midterm exam during week 4 and a final in week 8, which is the last week of the term. Keep in mind that, although the points distribution might change, typically the majority of your points for this course are gained through your discussions and assignments, so you want to make sure you do the best you can in each of these. So now that you have an overview of the layout of each week in the course, let's go over some strategies and then some math concepts to help you in week 1. First of all, make sure to set aside time every day for this class, as it has been shown that students who do this, instead of trying to complete all the week's tasks at once, do much better in the class. The time required for the reading and assignments in this class can vary, but a student is expected to dedicate between 10 to 15 hours per week throughout the course. This seems like a lot, but math, unlike other courses, requires a lot of practice. Make sure to first read all the associated lectures and videos the instructor has posted for you in Blackboard, as well as the suggested readings from the textbook. You may need to look for additional resources, in which case you can visit the Math Center for additional help. Meantime, here are a few of the math concepts you will cover in week 1. The Cartesian coordinate system. A way to pinpoint where you are on a map or graph is by finding how far along and how far up or down the point is. These points are called Cartesian coordinates. The Cartesian coordinate system consists of two axes, x and y. Take a look at the following point, 12, 5. It is 12 units along the x-axis and 5 units up on the y-axis. These coordinates are written in the form 12, 5, and the first number always represents the x-coordinate and the second number is always the y-coordinate. An algebraic expression is a mathematical phrase that can contain ordinary numbers, variables like x or y, and operators like add, subtract, multiply, and divide. To evaluate an algebraic expression, you have to substitute a number for each variable and perform the mathematical operations. For example, to evaluate the following expression for x equals 3 and z equals 2, you would replace x with 3 and z with 2 to evaluate the expression. Look at the example. Next are polynomials. Polynomial comes from poly, meaning many, and nomial, in this case meaning term, so it says many terms. Look at this polynomial example, highlighting its terms. 4xy squared is one term, positive 3x is another term, and so is negative 5. Notice the exponents on the terms. The first term has an exponent of 2. The second term has an understood exponent of 1, and the last term doesn't have any variable at all. Polynomials are usually written this way with the terms in decreasing order. That is, with the largest exponent first, the next highest next, and so forth until you get down to just the plain number. This is called standard form. When a term contains both a number and a variable part, the number part is called the coefficient. The coefficient on the leading term is called the leading coefficient. These are not polynomials. Exponents can only be positive numbers. You cannot have a division by a variable, and you cannot have fractional exponents. The last important concept you will need to be familiar with in week 1 is factoring polynomials. Factoring polynomials involves breaking up a polynomial into simpler terms, the factors, such that when the terms are multiplied together, they equal the original polynomial. There are many different ways to factor polynomials depending on what the question is asking and/or the type of polynomial you are factoring. You could have perfect square trinomials, difference of squares, sum and difference of cubes. You can factor by grouping, using quadratic formula, and so on. Because there are so many ways to factor, we suggest that you spend some time looking over your class notes, the textbook, or visit the Math Center to become more familiar with factoring polynomials. For other basic math skills, you can watch any of our other videos, which can be accessed within the Math Center page and your Blackboard homepage. If you would like additional information or resources, please contact us at the Math Center or Learning Center. And this concludes our video for week 1.